Like the name suggests, tonsil stones are hard, calcified, accumulated deposits of yucky buildup that form inside of the pits and crevices of your tonsils. How to get rid of tonsil stones depends on what the cause is and how severe they are. You may never even realize that they're there until secondary problems start to arise, such as super bad breath. What causes tonsil stones? Sometimes, tonsil stones seem to form for no reason at all. Other times, they run in individuals who also have a risk of kidney stones. Or, they could mean that someone has excessive bacteria inside of their mouth due to poor oral hygiene, resulting in a buildup of dental plaque and food debris. People with chronic tonsillitis, sinus infections, allergies, or a postnasal drip may be more likely to get tonsil stones, due to enlarged tonsils and the crypts across their surfaces. Crypts usually occur due to frequent tonsillitis and the scar tissue left behind. How long do tonsil stones last? Like tartar buildup on your teeth, most tonsil stones will stay put until they're physically cleaned away. But how to get rid of tonsil stones isn't like scheduling regular dental cleanings. In most cases, the stones last for months or years until removed by a medical professional. Are physically removed by a medical professional. Sometimes, people remove tonsilloliths on their own, by physically cleaning them out, rinsing vigorously, or even coughing until they come loose. The tonsil stone is likely to last for as long as it's left alone and isn't removed. If you're trying to figure out how to get rid of tonsil stones, there are a few safe ways to try to remove them on their own. However, you always run the risk of possibly injuring yourself or developing an infection after taking the tonsillolith out. In other words, do so at your own risk. Number 1. Low pressure irrigator. Physically rinsing out a tonsil stone may be enough to lift a tonsillolith from a tonsillar crypt if you're using enough water pressure. A manual irrigator, which looks like a large plastic syringe, or water flosser on a low pressure setting can apply a steady stream of pressure right where you need it. Place the tip near the edge of the tonsil stone and flush the water so that it goes down around the edges and underneath, pushing the stone out. The downside to using an irrigator is the potential gag reflex factor. 2. Gargling with non-alcohol mouth rinses. One of the safest ways to try to loosen a tonsil stone that you can feel in your throat is to try to gargle it out. You can use plain tap water, salt water, or an alcohol-free antimicrobial mouthwash. Rinsing doesn't just help loosen the tonsillolith, it also removes excess bacteria so that it doesn't grow as large. Number 3. Antibiotics. If your tonsil stone is still relatively soft or it's more of a drainage, pus accumulation and your tonsil is infected, your doctor may recommend taking an antibiotic. Antibiotics can help reduce the amount of swelling in your tonsils, so that the tonsillar crypts are not so large. That way you can reduce the chances of recurring tonsil stones and limit the number of bacteria that are responsible for forming them in the first place. Here are some natural remedies. Number 1. Cough. A common thing for people to do with tonsil stones is to cough them out. If the stone is already slightly loose, the coughing can help it to knock loose completely. Just take care not to cough too forcefully, as you could make yourself cough up blood or vomit instead of knocking the tonsillolith out. And of course, if you're always coughing, it's likely to make people think you're walking around with a disease or something. We can't have that happening these days. But of course, feel free to gently cough in the convenience and privacy of your own home if that's what helps you knock your tonsil stones out. 2. Apple cider vinegar. ACV, gargle. If your tonsilloliths are the result of ongoing allergies or respiratory tract infections, supplementing with an apple cider vinegar rinse may be helpful. Since ACV is sometimes helpful for bacterial or inflammatory type infections, it doesn't hurt to try. Add 1 tablespoon to a cup of water, rather than gargling with straight apple cider vinegar. 3. Gargling salt water. Salt water is safe and has the natural ability to draw inflammation out of tissues. If your tonsils are swollen or irritated because of your tonsil stones, gargling with salt water a few times a day can alleviate the discomfort. 4. Essential oils. You might not have realized that essential oils such as mint are one of the most important antimicrobial ingredients in mouthwash. When you dilute a few drops of essential oils in a glass of water, you're essentially making your own mouthwash. Rinsing with it a few times a day can lower how many bacteria are accumulating around your tonsils. Number 5. Onions. Some people say that adding more onions to your diet can lower your risk of getting tonsil stones. If you're prone to getting tonsilloliths in the first place, eating onion is more of a preventative solution. But there's always a risk for onion breath. You'll have to decide if the trade-off is worth it. 6. Garlic studies show that garlic has antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral capabilities. Supplementing with garlic could potentially eliminate or lower your chance of having tonsil stones. But like onions, garlic doesn't help with the bad breath factor. 7. Yogurt. Yogurt contains natural probiotics, which is why your doctor recommends eating it when you're on an antibiotic regimen. Having the right balance of healthy bacteria and controlling the bad bacteria can stabilize the chances of tonsil stone development. 8. Apples. Eating crunchy foods that are fibrous in nature may help wipe away at tonsil stone growths, depending on where they're located in the back of your mouth. Apples also have a slightly acidic pH level, which may stall tonsillolith formation. 9. Carrots. Loaded in vitamins and minerals, adding fresh, uncooked carrots to your diet helps boost your immune system, increase salivary flow, and potentially reduce your risk of getting tonsil stones. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and watch our other videos.